Hello everyone, today we have a server on the right and a computer on the left. So what is the issue? The issue is the computer cannot join the domain. So let's go ahead and attempt joining the domain. So first of all, we gotta know what the IP address for the domain is. Well, no, we don't. We don't need to know the IP address for the domain. All we need to know is a computer name. So we're gonna go over to System, About, and then Domain or Workgroup. Change domain. What's the domain? Domain is technotalk.local. So we type technotalk.local. We press OK. Asking for username. So for this, we're gonna enter the administrator, the login for this account. The account is administrator and the password for administrator on the domain, on the DC computer on the right. We join the domain. So restart, close, restart now. So it worked this time, but yesterday it was not working. So what was the fix? Why was it not working? The fix, as you can see, we have internet. But what is going on? Over here, properties. We have DNS is 127.0.0.1. What is that? That's callback. The DNS, it's its own computer is a DNS. So what should be happening? Well, at first, since this is our DNS, we should not be able to get on the internet. And whenever I was having the issue earlier, I was able to get on the internet, and I could not. This Windows 11 computer could not reach the server, could not reach the domain. So what did I do? I was checking all my settings. I reset the whole server, made sure I hadn't done anything wrong, and then I went over here, prefer DNS server callback. That's fine. It can be this. Why? Because it's pointing to itself, to its own IP, and it was on obtain IP address automatically. So what did I do? I went to CMD and let's type ipconfig /all. So as you can see, my DNS server is 127.0.0.1, which is right. And my IPv4 address is 192.168.0.6. So that's right. But now let's go to our computer on the left. And I'm gonna wait for this to finish up and then I'll come back. Alright, so the computer finished restarting. Now let's go ahead and log back into it. Come on, come on. There we go. So now let's go to the CMD on this computer. So what was causing the issue earlier? Well, so let's try this again. Let's ping first the computer. It's called DC. For some reason it cannot ping the computer, but let's try pinging the IP address then. 192.168.0.6. Oh no, I did it wrong. Ping 192.168.0.6. Enter. Is that the IP address? Yes, that's the IP address. So we're getting a request timeout. Why are we getting that? I'm not sure. How were we able to join the domain? I'm not sure either. So let's go ahead and ping the domain then. And we are not able to find the domain either. Alright, let's go on my own computer and let's try to ping it. Okay, on my own computer I'm able to ping the computer. And now let's ping the domain. And it could not find the domain. It can find the computer, but it cannot find the domain. So let's go ahead and remove the computer from the domain again. PC technotalk.local. Let's join it to work group. Okay. Please enter the valid password of an account with permissions to remove this computer from the domain. So let's enter PC / Ricardo. Why do I enter this? Because if we run net users, Ricardo was the original administrator on this computer, and the computer name is PC. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna put PC / Ricardo, and then the password for Ricardo account. We click enter, and what's gonna happen? We will successfully be able to remove ourselves from the domain. Welcome to work group. Restart the computer, close, restart now. And I'll be right back once it restarts. Alright, so the computer finished restarting. Didn't take much time. So now we're going to log back into Ricardo, and then we're going to try to ping the domain again. CMD ping DC. Cannot find computer DC. Alright, so we're going to try and ping the domain. Cannot find the domain. So let's try joining the domain again. I most likely bet this time we're not going to be able to. And we haven't changed any settings. So the domain is technotalk.local. There we go. As we can see, we did not change any settings in control panel. Nothing was changed. All this is left the same. Cancel, cancel. Nothing changed. And look at this. An Active Directory domain controller ADDC. Active Directory domain controller for the domain technotalk.local cannot be contacted. Ensure the domain name is typed correctly. If the domain name is correct, click details for troubleshooting information. And if we click details, it's going to say the DNS servers used by this computer and neighbors are not responding. This computer is configured to use DNS servers with the following IP address. So this is a DNS server for this computer. Why? Because let's go to ipconfig /all. Why? Because we want the DNS, our DNS server on all the computers we register to a domain to be the domain server. We want all. Why? Because we set up a DNS on our domain server, so our domain server can hand out IP addresses. So, and it can redirect you anywhere. So now here we have our DNS, which is this computer, as you can see. Let's run this command again so you guys could see. There we go, ran it again. Same IP address. And they are on the same network. Here's a subnet mask. Subnet mask. This one's got a duplicate IP address. It's fine. So everything looks normal, right? So what's the fix for this? Why does it say we cannot communicate to the computer if we are communicating, if the computer is on the network? We're on the same network, but we cannot communicate. And let's make sure we have internet access. Well, we do, because we got a IP address. So what do we do now? Well, the fix for this took me a couple hours, but I eventually got it. So you go over here to Ethernet on your server, right click properties, IPv4, click properties, use the following IP address. So right here, our IP address is going to be what we had on the CMD, ipconfig/all. So our IP address is going to be 192.168.0.6. There we go, and our subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.0. And our default gateway is going to be, where is it? 192.168.0.1. Control C and then paste it. All right, now let's click OK and watch this over here. Why did I tell you our internet, if we set our DNS on this computer to 127.0.0.1, we should not be able to browse the internet. Why? Because our DNS does not know any IP addresses. So, but we are able to get on the network. So what's going to happen when we do this? Well, what's going to happen is we're going to get this same IP address we used to have, same subnet mask, same default gateway, and our DNS server is going to point to this IP address. But what's going to happen? Everything's going to stay the same. So we click OK. Why? Because these settings are the same as these we're inserting as static. So we click OK, and we click close, and watch this. The internet went away. So the internet came back and went away. So that's normal. If there's no internet, that means we're good. All right. So now let's go back over here. Let's type CMD. Then let's ping the computer. Ping 192.168.0.6. Ping transmitted failed, general failure. Okay, let's ping the domain. Ping technotalk.local. Cannot find it. Okay. Oh, then let's just try joining it. Does not work either. So what are we gonna do? So let's go to our control panel. Let's make sure all of our settings are right on this computer over here. Change adapter settings, properties. Make sure IPv6 is disabled. IPv4, obtain IP address automatically. That's right. And then this one's going to be our DNS, which is over here. Our computer over here, which is correct. So we click close, and let's try pinging the general failure. Ping transmit failed, general failure. So what's this computer's IP address? This computer's IP address is nothing. So what does this mean? This means we gotta get this computer on the network. Unidentified network. That's not good. So disable and then enable again. What's this telling us? It's telling us that it cannot reach the internet. And this computer should be able to reach internet. This computer over here should not. For some reason it is again. So maybe we have to go back and check the Hyper-V settings. Make sure our computers are on the right network. So we go here, right click, settings, network adapter, external internet switch, that's correct. Let's go on this one, right click, settings, network adapter, external virtual switch, that's correct. Okay. And over here we close out of this. Close. Identifying network. So let's restart this computer. See if that fixes it. And let's restart the domain server too. The domain controller. So here this one's finished restarting, so let's sign back in. Alright, so we are back. Oh, I got the wrong password for this one. There we go. We have internet on this one, surprisingly again. That it's not supposed to be happening. We should not have internet. And on this one, we do not have internet at all. You gotta close this out. So CMD again, ipconfig. There we go, we have an IP address now. So we are good with that. So now let's ping the DC. Let's ping technotalk.local. Could not find anything. Why is it not being able to find anything? Let's go on this computer over here. CMD ping 192.168.0.107. Oh, I didn't type anything. Ping 192.168.0.107. Why is it deleting everything? Ping 192.168.0.107. So what can we tell with this? We can tell these two computers cannot communicate to each other. Can this one? There we go. We got two replies at the very end. Try again. There we go. We're getting replies. Let's try this one again. Cannot find host. There we go. Now we can find the domain controller. And what happened? The internet came up. I don't know why it went down. Don't ask me why. But it works now. And this one should not work. Oh, it works. It shouldn't, but it works. So let's go to settings about this PC. And let's add the PC to the domain, change domain technotalk.local. We can reach the domain. So that's good. So now let's try doing this again. Let's try changing it back to how it was. Seeing if it works again. So now it's going to use a DHCP to obtain IP address. Internet access, that's fine. This one should have always have internet access. I don't know why it went away. So now let's try this again. Join the domain still works. Still works. We are able to ping the domain controller. Now, there should not be any internet right here. Why? Because, like I said, IPv6 is disabled and our DNS is this computer. There's no alternate configuration either. As you guys can see, it's all normal. So now let's try this again. 192.168.0.6. That's correct. Now our default gateway is 192.168.0.1. Okay. Close. We should lose internet access. If we go over here, ping computer, we should still be able to ping the computer. And if we try to ping the domain controller, there we go. Domain controller DC has this IP address and domain controller has this IP address. So what was the issue the other day? Whenever I would ping the DC, it would give me 192.168.0.6. But whenever I would ping the technotalk.local, it would give me a 192.168.0.9. So the DC was different than the domain controller, than the domain. Why? I don't know. So what was the fix? I went over here, properties, and I inserted everything statically. Doing this, clicking OK and close, we're able to make my PC and my domain controller have the same IP address. So now if we go back over here and we try to join it like normal, administrator, and there we go. We join the domain, restart required, restart now. What is weird is this should not be working at all. There shouldn't be any internet on this computer. So our DNS servers is this, that's right. So why is it not working? I'm not sure. Why is the problem not coming back? I'm not sure. Why do we have internet? I'm not sure. But if you guys are having issues, I know for a fact this setting your Ethernet settings to static, even though it should be static because of this, should work 100% of the time. So there's that video for you guys. I hope you guys understand it and I'm not sure why the issue is not coming back. I'm not sure why I came up with a different issue where this computer didn't have internet and this one did. I'm not sure why all that happened, but in the real world, you might get this one will have internet, the regular computer, and then the server computer will not have internet because you're pointing the DNS to itself. So it's not going to have a DNS server to get any IP address from. But there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of long, but don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Just keep it saved in your playlist, in your saved playlist. This video is going to help you a lot later whenever you have this issue. Why? Because there's no other video that has this information. I looked it up. Spent hours looking it up. I would have seen the fix for this, not spend hours trying to fix it. But that was a fix, setting your Ethernet to static. You should be setting it to static, but the other way should also work too. It wasn't. So setting it to static made it work. So there you guys go. I'll see you guys in the next one.